What does it mean to let go during games? What are you trying to let go of? And is this really needed in order for you to play your best? In today's episode, I'm going to discuss what it actually means to let go when you play and how you can use this concept to increase your performance on the field or court. Hey there, I'm Eli Straw, a mental performance coach and the founder of SuccessStartsWithin.com. When I use the term letting go within my work, I am referring to the idea of letting go of trying to force or control the outcome. We don't want to go into a competition trying to control what happens. Now, I know that might seem strange because getting a certain score or getting a certain stat line is the ultimate reason why you are there. That's going to help you win the game. It's going to help you reach the next level, reach your goals within your sport. But when we think about how this mentality of trying to force or control what happens impacts your performance, we see it turn into unnecessary forcefulness that will become present when you play. And while you are competing, we want everything to be very natural, athletic, and you want to be in the flow state. There's no way for you to be in the flow state when you are trying to force things or you are trying to control the future and control the result. That's really what it means to let go. You want to let go of this forcefulness, let go of trying to control what happens, be fully in the present moment, and allow yourself to play freely. So that's what it means to let go. But by no means is letting go an easy thing to do. It's probably one of the most difficult mentalities or mindsets to adopt as an athlete. And it's because, when I'm going into a game, of course I want all of these things to happen. And the worse I've been doing recently, the more I will try to force things to turn around. But when I bring that level of forcefulness into my performance, I'm actually causing myself to keep underperforming. And this is why you may have found yourself recently or in the past stuck in a slump where you just can't seem to pull yourself out of the string of bad games. A lot of that will have to do with the fact that the worse you do, the more you end up trying to turn things around by force instead of just allowing yourself to play freely. When you're playing well, you trust yourself more, you let go of this need to control, and you end up doing your best. So how can you go about trying to apply this idea of letting go when you play? Well, as contradictory as it sounds, I have found the most success in helping athletes let go of the result and let go of this need to force things by helping them focus more on what they actually can control when they play. Now, if you've listened to any of my episodes or watched any of my YouTube videos, you will have heard me use the term focus on what you can control. And it's because I think it's one of the most important parts of having a strong mental game and using your mindset to help you play better. Because when you focus on what you can control, you are giving your mind something to try to control. And whenever we play with anxiety or we are really wanting to play well, our minds want to control something. And so the thing that we end up attempting to control is the result, but we cannot actually fully control that result. So then this turns into that pressure, that tension, that forcefulness that doesn't help us when we play. But if we turn that need to control onto the parts of our game that we can actually make sure we do, such as effort, preparation, having good thinking, moving on from mistakes well, having a good attitude, being in the correct position, going through your progression, making sure that you're reading the defense well, being aware, whatever it ends up being for you within your sport, you are, as a byproduct, letting go of the need to control the result, but you're still controlling something. So you still feel like you are actually controlling something out there. You're still controlling your performance in terms of the preparation that you're putting in and all of that, but you're no longer trying to control something that is out of your control, which ends up only hurting you. So that's one way that you can go about trying to let go of the result and let go when you play. It's by not letting go of what you can control, but in all reality, focusing on that more, but learning to let go of the things that are out of your control. Another way that you can work on letting go when you play is working to be more present. Now, when you do focus on what is 100% within your control when you play, you will naturally become more present. Because for things to be in our control during a competition, they have to be taking place in the present moment. There's no way for me to control the past mistake or the upcoming play because both of those are not in the present moment. But I can control my positioning right now. And if I focus on that, that keeps me present. I can control how much effort I'm giving in this current moment. And again, that helps me stay present. So that's going to help you be more present, but you can also work on, just in general, trying to adopt more of a present focused mentality where during practice, during preparation for the game, and then during the game, you really work to center your attention in the present moment. And what you're going to find happens when you do so is that you play in a much more relaxed and natural state. And this is where muscle memory starts to take over. This is where you find yourself more likely to play in the flow state because you're just fully in the moment. When we learn to let go of the need to control the outcome and the result, let go of, pretty much anything that's out of our control, even if it involves what coach is thinking or, whether or not we'll be in the lineup the next day, we end up playing so much better because we are more in the moment and we are allowing ourselves to play more freely. Now, to kind of end this idea of learning to let go when you play, I want to give you two different examples of some athletes that I've worked with who have done a great job of going from trying to control these outcomes and controlling these different things to learning to let go. One of them is a college baseball player who has historically struggled with worrying about what his coach thinks and worrying about whether or not he's going to be in the lineup for the next game. In the past, he would go into games stressing about how well he needed to do in order to be in the lineup for the next game because his coach chooses the lineup very heavily based on how players do in the most recent game. As a result of this mentality, he was putting a tremendous amount of pressure on himself for each individual at bat. By doing so, he ended up swinging at bad pitches, he ended up hitting with much more tension, and he ended up underperforming. And as a result of that, he ended up not being in the lineup the next day. But through our work, what he ended up doing was letting go of this need to control tomorrow or the next day, and he learned to be more present and only focusing on the at-bat he was in, being more grateful that he was in the lineup today instead of trying to play for tomorrow. And the statement or kind of mantra that he lives by now is play for today, don't play for tomorrow. And by doing so, he's learned to let go of the desire to control whether or not he'll be in the lineup and even control how well he does. And he's ended up performing a lot better because he's learned to let go of those things. Another example comes from a swimmer that I worked with who was really concerned with the time that he would get at the end of the race or the end of the event. Before the event, he was experiencing a lot of anxiety because he was trying to control whether or not he reduced his time, and he desperately did not want to increase his time. He was not able to let go of that desire to control the time. But since that led to anxiety, it also led to more tension and more stress, and he ended up swimming very tense, very stiff, and he ended up increasing his time as a result because he was trying to control that time and because he was swimming with so much stress and pressure. But again, through our work, he learned to let go of what the time was going to be, and that allowed himself to focus more on his pre-race routine, and then it allowed him to be more present when he was swimming, which again resulted in him decreasing his time more often than not. So both of those examples highlight the power of letting go of the result, letting go of what other people think, just in general, letting go of everything that is not 100% within your control, and learning to be more present, focus more on what you can control in the moment, which then ultimately leads to better performances. So for yourself, I encourage you to go into competition, letting go of the result, letting go of the outcome, but not letting go of what you can control, right? Making sure that you are focused on what you can control that will put you in a position to succeed. Focus in the present moment because that's going to allow you to play naturally, play freely, which ultimately leads to those results that you want. Now, if you are interested in learning more about my one-on-one coaching program, I put a link to that in the description below, along with links to my 2 online courses, the Confident Competitor Academy and the Mentally Tough Kid course. Thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of success in all that you do.